13th morning. I'm Matt Carruthers, and welcome to another installment edition of everyone's favorite 30-minute horse racing program. It is time to roll up your sleeves and welcome the weekend. It's blinkers off time, folks. And yes, I'm excited about next week. Yes, I'm excited about opening day at Del Mar on Wednesday. Yes, I'm excited because I'm going to be there. Opening day, Saratoga, next Friday. But I'm excited about the present. I'm excited about this program because we have closing weekend at Betfair Hollywood Park. We have our spotlight race that we will discuss. The American Oaks for 3-year-old fillies at $1.25. We got the Man o' War at Belmont. We got my guy Ray Pollock, the insider with all the news of the game. The second half of the program, Ray and I will do some handicapping. And I'm also very excited about the gentleman who's on the line right now. Joins us right now on Blinkers Off. Trainer of Left a Message, 12-1 morning line in our spotlight race for Saturday, the Grade 1 $350,000 American Oaks. It's a wide open race. Thomas Proctor on the line right now. Thomas, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Can I call you Tom or should I call you Thomas?
Tom's fine.
All right, Tom Proctor on the line right now. And yeah, we're looking at the bio right now for you. Glen Hill Farm owns Left a Message. You're the trainer. Talk about your relationship with Glen Hill Farm and how far back does it go?
Dad actually was Mr. Lavin's first trainer, and I think he was 67.
Wow.
So ever since I was a little kid, I've worked for him off and on, and, it's just evolved into, Mr. Lavin is still alive. He's doing well.
Great.
Very coherent on what everything's going on. He's doing good, and he's very involved in the horses, and his grandson has took over probably 3-4 years ago, but was always interested. I always paid attention, and now he's the head of Glen Hill Farm, and I think things are good.
Wonderful, wonderful. So going back 45 years with Glen Hill Farm, you're pretty much a turf guy, right? Is that pretty fair? Is that accurate?
You know what? When I had fast horses and a bunch of relaunches, I was known for 2-year-olds. So it's just whatever's in the barn. And right now I've got that monker, but that's okay.
All right, well, let's get into our spotlight race for Saturday. Brought to you by Horse Racing Fantasy. Going 10 furlongs on the turf course, which will be firm, I think. Although we had some rain last night and some rain on my way to work this morning. Very unusual for July, but we'll have a firm turf course. $350,000 Grade 1 event. You have Left a Message at 12-1 on the line. She ran fourth in her last start, the Regret. Colonial Flag is going to be one of your favorites in this race for Mike Matz, was second in that race. We'll take a look at it right now from the 16th of June. What did she do, Tom, in this race to make you think, hey, we should give it a shot in the Grade 1 American Oaks?
Well, really nothing in that race. I actually thought, when I said something to the jock after the race, and he says, what about letting her run? He says, well, there's 11 horses on the turf. It's like, and it was kind of funny. He'd come out, I was watching, after I saddled her for that race, I was watching a horse run of mine at Colonial Downs that Sellers had rode 2 weeks before. And as she's getting to the 50 yards from the wire, he walks up and says, what's up? And I says, I'm watching this filly win at Colonial that he'd rode 2 weeks before. And I said, I want you to ride this one better than you rode that one 2 weeks before. And he rode her about the same. Okay. So, it really just one of those races you just scratch your head. It's like, come on, Jock, why didn't you let her run a little bit and know what you got? So, she gets beat 3.5 lengths and really didn't get much shot to run, and she's kind of a quality filly, so we'll see. We'll see if I'm right.
Okay, you lost to Center Court. It was a nice filly for Rusty Arnold, who was your favorite in the Regret. Talk about the rider that you have in the American Oaks on Saturday, Yuichi Fukunaga. Why are you going? He obviously won this race with Cesario, who was dominant back in 2005. But why Yuichi Fukunaga for Left a Message in the American Oaks Saturday?
Well, a couple of little things. I asked a few riders. I'll be honest, and a lot of them were taken. Okay. I kind of made a decision at the last minute to come here. I was actually leaning towards the Virginia Oaks. But with the heat and everything, I was a little afraid of vanning her from Louisville to Colonial. And so I just put her on a plane Wednesday. So it's kind of a last-minute deal, change of mind as it might be. But I had rode this jock a couple of nights at Churchill, and rode him on the speed filly, which you wouldn't think would be his forte. And I said, get on out of there. And damn, if he wasn't 2 in front, broke on top, 2 in front, rode her good.
Aggressive out of the gate, good. Yeah.
Yeah, and went good. And then the next night, you got to realize, it was hotter than heck. This kid handled himself good. I mean, it was 106, and it was brutal. Put him on a little 2-year-old first-time starter. I'm not known for really cranking up, like to see a good race.
Right.
Horse hopped in there. The jock took him right over the fence. Horse did everything right, turned for home, and got him on the outside. He come running, got beat ahead for second.
Okay.
Ended up third, and I just thought he rode 2 good races. That's all.
All right. I just got some breaking news. That's the beauty of live television, Tom, and some breaking news that you'd probably be interested in. Our very own Christina Oliveras is on the Hollywood Park backside as I read this. And the Hollywood Racing Office has just confirmed, Tom, and those of you out there, that the 5, Regalo Mia, whom I believe your second choice morning line in the Grade 1 American Oaks will scratch from the American Oaks tomorrow. Got a temperature on the plane is the report that we're hearing right now. So Christina Oliveras all over the story. And she kind of thought this was going to happen about an hour ago. It's confirmed right now, Tom. So, again, not something, it makes things a little easier for you with left a message. And it doesn't sound too serious, but Regalo Mia.
I don't want to burst your bubble, but she's a day late.
She's a day late?
Yes, I knew that yesterday.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow. Okay. So you probably, but it was confirmed but it was just confirmed recently. So you heard about the possibility of it yesterday.
Yeah, I heard from the racing secretary.
Okay.
But anyway, that's one thing I did like. I liked how my mare shipped out. I liked how she schooled yesterday. She's been in the feed tub since she's been here. So, I mean, all signs are good. We'll just have to see. Okay,
before I let you go, I need to ask you about marketing mix. Looked really good winning the Dance Smartly at Woodbine. Beverly D, Grade 1, August 18th for your 4-year-old filly. How's she doing?
Well, she's doing good. I'm not, really confirmed on going to Beverly D. I've even got my eye on the Diana.
Oh, really? Okay, Saratoga.
It would be 3 weeks. She's doing good. Couldn't be any happier. I mean, she had to overcome a little bit of traffic. Not a little bit, a lot of traffic in her last race. And, I even said, how many horses do I have in the barn that could do that and win a graded stake? None.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, especially left a message, going 1.25 miles for the first time. That's not going to be a problem?
Hey, we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Just like anybody else, we don't know everything.
All right. Our spotlight race, the American Oaks Grade 1 event, wide open event, and Tom Proctor has left a message at 12 to 1 morning. Thank you so much for coming on, Tom, and best of luck.
You bet. Down the road.
All right. Tom Proctor, again, as I mentioned to him off air before we went on. Good karma coming on this program. Good karma. I think I bet left a message in her last start. Ran an okay 4th at odds of 15 to 1. Picks recaps for last week. Last couple weeks actually been decent for me. And 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Not last week. Slim Shady. I mean, the pace was slow, but still did not show up at all. I went with a 33 to 1 shot. It didn't run. San Pablo. Game on, dude. Yes. Take that, Larry. Take that, Larry. Endorsement, 18 to 1. Maybe I'm one of those, I don't know. I'm the football team that's down 17 in the third quarter, and there's still plenty of time, but I'm throwing a bomb every play. Maybe I still have time to come back. It's only July. This adds up, 102. We're doing win place, so pretty easy to figure out. You do 5 races, that's $20 right there. Play of the day, we're going to get to it right now. And a price horse, but a horse not going to be a bomb. We're not talking 33 to 1 here. Race number 9 at Belmont for Saturday. I think the rain's supposed to hit New York, I think maybe on Sunday. So I think the turf course will be good. At Belmont will be a firm turf course with no rain. I like Ventura Bar, the 10, in race number 9. A horse who's back on turf, only turf start, a solid second by Officer out of a Grand Slam mare. I've been facing a little bit better. Cuts back in distance. You got a nice tactical trip, wide open event. I'll go with Ventura Bar on the turf for the second time on the cutback at 12 to 1 morning line in race number 9. Time for our one and only commercial timeout. We come back, catch of the day, and Ray Pollock and handicapping on Blinkers Off. I love some fishing in the summer. Oh yeah, yeah. Walleye, bass, pike, you name it. Oh, nothing I enjoy more than cleaning the fish after I catch them. Yep. Look out for me. Fish are frightened by that look. Oh, catch of the day involves Mick Shannon, one of the trainers in Saturday's American Oaks. Here it is.
Armstrong back to Holmes, who could have well done without it. He's found Keegan. Purcell's to Ball. Purcell's again. Keegan. Ball. Baker. Keegan. Armstrong. Keegan. Shannon. You won't see a better goal than that this season. That was marvelous.
Who was that? Mick Shannon, a great soccer player back in the day. That was circa 1982. Mick Shannon, who's your trainer of Nyara, the 8 in the Grade 1 American Oaks. Our spotlight race, doing the windmill. What a pretty goal that was, as we now bring in from the Pollock Report, Ray Pollock. The windmill, that was 1982 for Mick Shannon. So what was that, 30 years ago?
30 years ago.
It's still hip, isn't it?
It seems like yesterday when I was watching him do that.
It's still hip, though, and current in 2012, isn't it, the windmill? The kids are doing it right now, aren't they, in the streets?
Yeah, I think I've seen your cohorts, Todd Schrupp and Simon, down at the track doing that when they hit a nice bet. They do the windmill, don't they?
And the last time I did this, I was trying to get a cab in New York. I think I was hailing a cab. Over here. Oh, anyway, that was kind of fun video. I'm a
huge soccer fan. Is that what that was, soccer? Yeah, was that soccer?
I think so. I thought it was rugby maybe at first, but I think it was soccer. It is. You don't see too many guys who are great athletes and all of a sudden become trainers, and that's the situation.
Very interesting, isn't it? To move from a sport like that, where obviously you're a good athlete, to training athletes. So that's kind of interesting.
All right, we want to get to some of the news that's been taking place this week. But your selection it's Mick Shannon. There it is,
right there.
Wow.
I think Nyara is the horse to beat in the American Oaks, and I'm a big Tom Proctor fan, and I think his filly's got a shot. But Nyara's been running against the best fillies at this field by far.
Do you know Regalo Mia is a late scratch in the race?
I knew that 2 days ago. I knew that too.
I'm sure you did. I just found out a few minutes ago. I'm going to go with a Calbred filly who's only faced Calbreds who just won at Golden Gate. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm going with Victor Espinoza, best present ever. I think she's getting better. I think she can get the mile and a quarter. I think she's going to get a good trip in this race, and she's a price in a wide open event. All right, let's get to some of the news this week. I guess last week you talked about it a little bit, and there's a U.S. Senate Commerce Committee hearing on medication in D.C. that took place yesterday, Thursday. What happened? Was anything resolved?
Well, nothing is resolved, and I doubt that anything will happen as a result of yesterday's hearing this year. I think what Tom Udall, the senator from New Mexico, who chaired this hearing, wants to do is set things up for next year to maybe write some new legislation that will effectively put in some national standards for what drugs can be used and what drugs can't be used in horse racing. Establish uniform penalties and do things that racing has been trying to do on a state-by-state basis for many years.
Yeah, can you talk real quickly about the Interstate Horse Racing Act and how that could affect states?
Yeah, he's using that as kind of a stick against the horse industry, saying we could just void the Interstate Horse Racing Act,
right,
which would shut down simulcasting across state lines.
Yeah.
That's something the industry does not want to have happen. So I think it might be good for the industry to work with someone like Udall if they think he really does have the votes behind him to get some legislation passed.
Okay. I talked earlier about how next week, Del Mar, opening day on Wednesday, and they're doing this again to help increase field size. Del Mar's Ship and Win. And I think last year, if your horse ran in a different state in his last start, and you ran at Del Mar, I think you got $500 for running. This year, it's $1,000. And then in non-stakes races, there was a 20% bonus to the purse last year. It's going to be 25% this year, and apparently only trainers from Texas are taking advantage of this.
Well, Dallas Keene sent 10 horses last year, and he liked it so much, he rounded up 20 more horses. He's bringing 30. He's already there, I think, in fact, with 30 horses that qualify for this Ship and Win program. So Del Mar officials and the TOC were happy with this last year, and they've got to be ecstatic to hear that a guy like Dallas Keene, who's a pretty good horseman, is shipped 30 horses to Del Mar just because of this program. So I think it is working.
Yeah, I mean, Cody Autry from Texas has some horses. I think Jack Bruner from Texas is going to have some horses as well. I know it's kind of sour grapes for locals. They see people come in and get more money than they do in the same race. But I think it's good for the game, and it's good for the horse player as well for a change. Thinking of the horse player.
Need big fields, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So what's your right now? You're all over the place. You really are. You're in Florida right now.
I am in Florida right now, and I'm actually leaving today for Del Mar. I'll be there Monday. I'm driving. It's a long drive.
So you're driving from Florida to Del Mar. So you're gonna party in New Orleans at all, or are you gonna?
I'll probably bypass New Orleans. I'm thinking of I don't think there's too many racetracks open between here and there, but if there are, I'll stop in and make a few wagers.
But basically, it's a beeline for Del Mar.
Yeah, the sooner the better I get out there, yeah. So I guess I forgot that they have airplanes.
Is there any way you can change plans? Well, how long are you staying at Del Mar for?
I'll be there for a couple weeks.
Oh, you will? Okay, so then I'll see you in 2 weeks. I was going to say, if you're only going to be there for 1 week, I'm at Saratoga next weekend. I was wondering if you could change your plans and drive to Saratoga instead of Del Mar.
Well, I could maybe drive from Del Mar to Saratoga. That would work.
But we miss each other, though, because I'm going to be there next weekend. So that wouldn't work out at all. I've only been to Saratoga once in my life, Ray Pollock, and it was 1998.
Wow.
1998.
Well, it hasn't changed a whole lot. I think they've got a Shake Shack there now, and the food is probably a lot better on track. The racing is just as good as it ever was.
Do you have a favorite restaurant that I should go to at Saratoga or not? There's a lot of good food there, isn't there? There's a lot of good food there. I prefer the Brigantine and and Roberto's and Fidel's and some of the places around Del Mar, to be honest with you. Okay, all right. So you go fish tacos, Brigantine, where Ron Ellis always hangs out, and Fidel's, the best Mexican food, maybe in Southern California. Meat highlights. I think there's 15 grade ones at Saratoga. I mean, if the weather's cooperative, it's the best meeting in the country, right? If they don't get that really deluge of rain.
You should, by the way, go to the Wishing Well for a dinner one night. It may not be. It's a traditional place to go, so you make sure you go there. Okay,
I'll go to the Wishing Well. Okay, all right. Let's get back to some handicapping. We have done very little of that. I think the A Gleam is next, and this is a race in which I guess Switch is going to be your favorite. It's Betfair Hollywood Park 7 furlong event, Grade 2, $200,000 on Saturday. She's lost 8 in a row. She's been the favorite in 4 of those races. I mean, I like any race that she's a part of now because it's a good betting race because she doesn't win and you get value elsewhere, right?
Are you setting me up to fall again? I've went ahead and selected Switch.
You went with Switch.
I went with Switch because she's due to win one of these days, right? She does run her best races at Hollywood Park.
Okay.
And there's going to be a good pace for her. I think it sets up for her as well as anybody here. She's not going to get over bet because I think the bettors are getting tired of her.
Okay, Izzy Rules ran great in the Desert Stormer, lost in Turbulent Descent. This is kind of a playback horse, a horse I think owes me money. You owe me money, Ron McAnally. Sugar in the Morning. I thought she ran a really good second to Halo Dolly, a very talented Hollendorfer runner in the Franz Valentine. We're looking at that race right now. She was your favorite. Halo Dolly was your second choice at 8-5. Had a pace edge, got the lead. It's kind of a merry-go-round race. She led at every call, and Sugar in the Morning was second at every call. I like the cut back to 7 furlongs. She was overmatched by Groupie Doll, who's the best female sprinter in the country, 2 starts back. But I think this is a good distance for her. I think she gets the trip. I think it's a race try to beat Switch, and she's 8-1 morning line, and she owes me, and she's been training well since her last start. I'll go Sugar in the Morning in the Grade 2 A Gleam. Hollywood Juvenile Championship, another graded stake race at Betfair Hollywood Park. Field of 7 in here, and I guess we should start with the 6 horse, Amarish. Is that how we're going with? Is it who's undefeated in 2 starts for Jeff Bondi? And Ray, not only has he won those races, he's crushed his opposition. And, in his maiden event, okay, he's just too talented. He got an easy win gate to wire. I like the way he battled, actually, in the Willard Proctor Memorial, put away the other speed and still won for fun.
Yeah, he's Share Magic is my pick here. I think the horse is claimed for Sadler. how often do you see a horse that's claimed go on and win a stakes next time out? But one very impressively, I thought, in its only start, and it's kind of a crapshoot when you got 2-year-olds that are so lightly raced. Ran a big number.
Yeah, your favorite's going to be 4 to 5, right? I mean, I think we're hoping there's a little bit of a speed duel, and maybe if your Magic can rate a little bit. Yeah, I guess Craig DeLossie probably kicking himself, right? I mean, put him in for 50, and Sadler just takes him, and he runs like that.
Well, he'll be kicking himself more if he wins this race on Saturday. So
your probable second choice at 3 to 1 on the line. The Land of Lucy 6 furlong event, $150,000 event. What a card at Betfair Hollywood Park on their final Saturday. And the 6 executive privilege, she was odds on in her debut. She was a bit fractious at the gate, then she broke a bit slowly, and she still aired by 4.5 lengths. You were trying to beat the favorite in the Hollywood Juvenile Championship. You're trying to do the same in the Land of Lucy.
Well, I couldn't find a way around executive privilege in this race. There's the pedigree's there. She costs a lot of money as a 2-year-old. First Samurai was a good 2-year-old himself. The third dam of this horse is the great Devona Dale from Calumet Farm, good female family. Her. There's a lot of talent in this family, and Baffert is almost unstoppable when he gets a good 2-year-old. So this is one where I just had a hard time going against the favorite.
What do you think his percentages in stakes races at this meeting? I should have looked into that. I mean, it's got to be like 60. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, and I heard a statistic on the show the other day where they talked about his winning percentage, and that didn't include the fact that he had 2 horses in a lot of races, and he can't win with 2 horses in the same race. So
the best you can do is be at a 50% clip in that situation. I ended up with Wildcat Angie because she's kind of the wild card. And, I thought her win at Churchill at 14-1 was dominant, in which she crushed by nearly 3. Nakatani, first-time Hollendorfer. Synthetic should not be an issue by Wildcat Air of an N-Sweet mare. I'll go with Wildcat Angie. Has to get away. I think maybe she can do that at a little bit of a price. Big race at Belmont, their closing weekend as well. 11 furlongs on the turf, which should be firm. Race number 8, Grade 1, $600,000 event. And Treasure Beach, Ray, is your morning line favorite. Obviously, he's faced some top-notch runners in Cirrus de Agles. He's made over $2 million. He's a multiple Grade 1, Group 1 winner. How do you think this horse is going to race? Didn't run well in his last start and hasn't raced since the end of April.
Well, this race came up really weak. With the UN last week, it took some of the same horses out of it. And we've seen Aidan O'Brien do this how many times now, where he ships a horse over from Ireland into New York, wins the race, goes back home. I think Treasure Beach really kind of towers over this field, and it can run well fresh, I think.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that, that maybe the shipping, the layoff, and maybe a little bit off form. You have Point of Entry is going to be your second choice, who I'm literally going to be gambling that maybe he's just a different animal at Keeneland than he is anywhere else, and that turf course is so different than the turf course at Belmont Park. I'm going to go with a price horse here in Center Divider. Stumbled, lost Robbie Alvarado in his last start. You look back, this horse has run some huge races. I think it's a good trip. I don't think the distance is a problem at all in mile and 3/8. You see wins at a mile and 5/8 from this horse. So tactical speed gets the distance. Napravnik, Chad Brown always really heats up this time of year because going into Saratoga where he's lethal. I'll go a Center Divider and an upset in the Grade 1 Man o' War. We're almost out of show. We're almost out of races. The Delaware Oaks Grade 2 $400,000 event. And I'm not sure what Tony Dutrow is planning on doing. Have you heard anything with the... Maybe we can get Tom Proctor on the line. Do you know what he's doing with Singlet or Grace Hall? Because Castellanos listed to ride both.
Yeah, I do not know which one is going to come out, if either one is, but I'm sure Tom knows about it. I went with the shipper here with the Hollendorfer via Bellagio, which to me sounds like a good name for a restaurant somewhere. I don't know if that's what it is, but
good idea for you.
That was a pretty good race she ran at Bedford Hollywood Park in the Oaks, and coming on really strong. Really, nobody paid much attention to her in that race because of the battle on the front end, but she looked very good, I thought, that day closing, and I'm going to take her to upset the trio from Tony Dutrow. Yeah,
I'm going to go with Wicked Miz, the Dutch runner who's not part of the entry in this race. I like that win at Delaware Park on 9th of June. Trained well out of that race. I will go with Wicked Miz as well. Wait, will you do me a favor? Will you go old school on me? You're driving across the country. Will you send me a postcard? Will you send me a
I will do that. I will send it to you at TVG.
All right, don't speed. Wear that seatbelt, and safe travels to Del Mar. Ray Pollock once again joining us. Appreciate it, Ray.
I'll see you next weekend.
All right, I'd like to thank Tom Proctor as well. I will be part of the show next week from Saratoga. Rich Perloff will be in the TVG studios. I will be at the spa. Next time, Blinkers Off, July 20th, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific.